Welcome to Kevin's European Garage. Today I'm going to be changing the upper control arm on my 2013 Porsche Cayenne. I've been chasing a rattle on this thing. I recently just did the front sway bar bushings, and that was just because I got them cheap, so I decided to put them in anyways because this thing's approaching 100,000 miles. And I had also replaced the front strut. And my strut definitely was bad because when you push up and down in the vehicle, I mean, it would bounce a little bit. So it was definitely bad, but that didn't take care of my rattle. So today I'm going to be changing the upper control arm, and that should take care of my rattle. It looks like there's one of the bushings in the back of the control arm is bad, so this should hopefully take care of this rattle I've been chasing now for a little while. And I'm going to be changing it with this them for their control arm. I'm pretty sure that this is exactly the manufacturer from OEM. I mean, that's what they say online about this. It's got a lot of stuff scratched off over here as far as the numbers, so I'll compare it to the control arm when I take it out of the vehicle, but I'm pretty sure that this is the original equipment one for definitely about half the price of what the factory is asking for it. Okay, so I got the tire off, and this is the upper control arm. So what we're going to be doing is there's two bolts over here, and I got the one over here. They both go inward. The bolts up top will both go inward towards the strut. So I'm hoping that there might be just enough room to snake it out. If not, I hope I don't have to remove the strut, or at least I might only have to do the upper strut top, kind of lower it down and slide it back and forth to get it into place. But before I start everything, I want to jack up the control arm, and I'm going to take a little bit of weight off of this thing so this thing is more straight out. And then first I'm going to do is remove this nut. I always put on a new and different nut every single time I take these things off, just in case I need to use the factory nut over again. I don't want to mess it up. Alright. So the nut in the back is encapsulated inside the frame. It's another 16. Alright, let's see if we can get this bolt out. Oh, look at that. Just enough clearance so you can get this bolt out to the back side. Now hopefully the other one is the same way. Now I gotta look at the top to see if the bolt is in the frame or not, so I gotta open the hood. So this bolt has a nut on the other side over there. So I'm gonna have to hold this and reach around and kind of take it off on the other side. Hopefully I can do that. I was able just to reach around like that and get it, so hopefully not. This bolt slides out behind, and this one is going to be in the way of the strut. Figured as much that this was going to happen. So I'm going to have to unbolt the strut and lower the strut. Okay, so you can see that now I got the 3 bolts that are off of the strut top. 1, 2, 3. I just loosened up this hose a little bit to slide it forward so I can get the extension down right behind it to get to the axis to the nut over here. So there's 3 16mm nuts over here. So now that these are done, we can lower down the strut to get to let that bolt slide out from the bottom. All right, let's slowly lower down this strut and see what happens. I have to release some tension on this. Well, that's unfortunate. When you lower the control arm down, you just don't get enough movement. I think I'm gonna have to remove a sway bar link, and that will allow us to get the rest of this thing down. It's just so close. All right, so I'm gonna try to take this thing off, see if that will give us enough room. 18 on both sides. All right, let's see if loosening up that sway bar link just gives us enough room to lower this thing down. Yeah, the only way this is coming down enough is if I do the lower bolt on the strut too. Alright, so now we lower this down. You have plenty of room to get this thing out. Now I can take the control arm out of here and inspect those bushings in there. Alright, so we got them out over here, and it looks like this is pretty much, it's a factory one. Just with all the markings scraped off. As you look over here, you get the markings scraped off. And if you go over here, look at this one. The reason why is you get their marking, and they get the VW marking over here that they got rid of. So this is, so the Limferdo one is, it is factory. So you buy one of these, you're putting on basically a new factory piece. You kind of see the mark over here. You can see the mark over here. Alright, so along with the new control arm, we also have some new hardware here from Porsche, because these are torque to yield bolts. So you got, I think this is like 55 foot-pounds, and then you got to do a 180 turn. And same thing for this. This is like 111 foot-pounds, and then you got to turn, I think it's 90 degrees. But yes, so these are brand new bolts as they are torque to yield. I think I've already used this one on the bottom for the control arm once before when I did my strut, so I figured now is a good time to replace it since it's the second time coming off. Okay, so you got the control arm up here. Now I'm putting the new hardware in, and I'm just sliding this strut around a little bit to get the new hardware in over here through the bolt. Put the new hardware in. So when the suspension is on the ground, this is approximately the location of the control arm. So we want to tighten it up there because we don't want to put too much stress on the bushing and preload it and have it eventually wear prematurely and tear. All right, I'll torque that later. All right, now I'm gonna put the strut back up and in. Bolt is on the bottom. I'll torque that up a little bit later. Now the strut is in place, I'm gonna go up on top and I'm gonna put down the 3 nuts that are in there that hold up the strut to the body. Okay, I put the 3 nuts on here that hold the strut up just to kind of hold the strut in place for right now. And now the next thing to do is torque these things up. Okay, this over here gets torqued down to 37 foot-pounds and then 180, which is not going to be easy on this. I don't have one of those nice fancy torque wrenches that do that with that 180. So we're just going to have to guess. So there is 37 foot-pounds, and now we're gonna have to do 180 degrees. So I'm gonna make a little bit of mark on my socket, put a piece of tape on it, so that's 180 out. So when I see it over here straight across, it should be well, it should be 180 degrees. So let's try that. All right, I got my socket marked with a piece of tape. All right, so I watched it come around. It's 180 degrees. That's pretty tight. Now we gotta do it on the other side. I like the other one. This one gets torqued up to 37 foot-pounds. Then next we're gonna torque it or twist it 180 degrees. Again, piece of tape so I know where I'm at. And there's 180 degrees, so that bolt is done. All right, so next we're gonna tighten these. These eventually get torqued down to 44 foot-pounds. And these get to 44 foot-pounds. Over here, I have to use an extension, so I'm just gonna add another couple pounds because I'm gonna lose a little bit of torque in that extension. Okay, so now this panel is back on. So everything is tightened up over here. So now we can get back to the bottom again and finish connecting up the rest of the suspension. All right, so let's connect up the bottom suspension stuff. So let's jack up the control arm to meet with this. All right, there we go. Now let's connect this control arm. All right, so that's to hold that center piece in place while you tighten it up. All right, and this gets torqued to 63 foot-pounds. Okay, so unfortunately I do not have a torque wrench that goes up to, well, this is 111 foot-pounds and plus 90 degrees. So I know it's not proper, but I'm going to use my impact gun to put this thing on. Or probably most likely be just fine. And I'm gonna have to invest in another torque wrench that's capable of offering the what I need on this. All right, so the last thing that's left is the sway bar link. And the 1.5 foot-pound. All that's left now is just to put the wheel back on the car and take it for a test drive. Thanks for watching me put this upper control arm in this 2013 Porsche Cayenne. It's not that bad of a job, and also verify for sure that the Lemfurter one that you can buy is original equipment one that came on this car. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please like this video, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.